Welcome back everybody, it's SomeTyperGo, and today I am playing Boros Warriors Equipment in Standard, and this is a suggestion from a viewer, and shout out to Babis for the suggestion, and I hope you enjoy the deck tech and the gameplay as well as every other viewer. And if you are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe, the like, the comment, all that good YouTube stuff. I'll get that out of the way now so we can get right into the deck. It wasn't really in a good position for the format last season, and I think that it might be better off now. Who knows? We're gonna try it out. And I haven't actually played the deck. I just brewed it right before I hit record, so we're all gonna see how this plays out. So let's break down the deck. We're playing Warriors equipment, and we have a little bit of a package with Winota. So we do have a few non-human creatures in the deck. We're playing Akiri, Fearless Voyager. This is going to allow us to draw cards whenever equipped creatures attack, and it can give our equipped creatures indestructible, which is really nice. But we're not playing all 4 copies because it's a legendary, and it's a little bit clunky because we're also playing all 4 copies of Kargan War Leader because we are a warrior deck. Everything is a warrior, so everything is going to get the benefit from the Lord effect. And we're playing Core Blade Master. This is going to give all of our equipped warriors double strike, and again, since everything is a warrior, everything that's equipped is going to have the effect. We're playing 3 copies of Seasoned Hollowblade. This is a good hard to deal with threat, so even if we don't get to stick like our Kargan War Leader or Winota or Nahiri or something, we just have a nice 3-1 that's indestructible. It's good to block with, it's really good to attack with, and we don't want to play all 4 copies because we don't want to pitch all of our resources to the graveyard, but we are playing 1 copy of Kargan Intimidator instead as the 4th replacement. And I didn't want to max out on this either because again, it's a little bit clunky because we want to play out all of our creatures, and our curve is a little weird, so we don't want to like have to spend the mana on a turn and not be able to play another creature and commit to the board instead. So I just want to play it as a one-of because it is nice when we can play it and just, you know, make certain creatures, you know, not be able to block and stuff, which is really nice. Now to get into the equipment section, we're playing 1 copy of Shadow Spear to give our creatures lifelink and trample, 2 copies of Mirror Shield to give our creatures hexproof and +2 or +0/+2, which is going to be nice. Hexproof is the biggest part of this card. We really want to have hexproof because then we can like kind of start like troning out one creature and just equipping it with a bunch of stuff and make it huge, and our opponent can't deal with it outside of like a board wipe or something. And then we're playing 3 copies of Maul of the Skyclaves. This is going to give the creature +2/+2 flying and first strike, so it's going to make whatever creature we have on the ground become a nice evasive threat or blocker if we need it to be. And it equips to a creature the turn that it plays, the turn that you play it. So for 3 mana, you just get this effect, which is really nice. You don't have to pay 7 mana total. So if the creature's dealt with, having to pay 4 mana kind of sucks a little bit, but we're okay with that investment. And then of course we're playing 3 copies of Embercleave because we are an equipment deck, and this is probably the best equipment in Standard, especially since we're really aggressive with what we're trying to do. We're also playing a few dual-faced cards, so we're a little bit light on interaction, as you can probably tell. We're playing 2 copies of Spikefield Hazard, both in the main and the sideboard, so you can bring them in against like or no, so we're playing 1 in the sideboard so we can like bring them in against aggressive decks and stuff. We're also playing 1 copy of Shatter Skull Smashing. We don't want to max out on this because we're not going to be able to like get the 6x or more consistently in this deck, and it's going to be really hard for us to play this versus playing creatures and stuff like that, so we don't really want to worry about that too much. And then in the 4-drop slot, we're playing Legion Angel. This card is probably not good, right? Like, you probably don't necessarily need to play it, but I thought it would be fun to play because flyers are prevalent in the format. There are a few flyers to worry about, and it's a 4/3 that can grab the other 2 out of the sideboard, so we just play a 2/2 split. So we're playing 1 copy of Ogre Battle Driver. This is a shout out to the previous video a couple days ago that I've done. And turns out Ogre Battle Driver is a fantastic card, and since it's a warrior, might as well play it in the deck. It gives everything else haste and +2/+0. We're playing 4 copies of Nahiri. It's 4 mana Planeswalker that comes in with 4 loyalty, and we can +1 to give it to create a 1/1 core warrior, which is important because warrior is going to get the benefit from the Kargan War Leader, and it's also going to be a core, so it's going to trigger Winota when it attacks. And you can attach an equipment to it, so her +1 just basically makes a dude, and then you can just attack. You can attach Maul the Skyclaves or Mirror Shield to it or something, and then Core Blade Master gives it double strike, and then you can just imagine that +1 becoming much stronger than it seems on paper. And then it also has -2. You can look at the top 6 of your library to reveal a warrior or an equipment, so it's going to help us find resources over the course of the game. Really good against control. And then the -3, it's pretty easy. It deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipments you control. Now, it kind of sucks you can't hit players with this, but it is nice to be able to have the removal aspect. This is like most of the removal in the deck, since we're only playing 3 other pieces of removal in the entire deck. And then we're playing 2 copies of Amiri's Call to be able to create 2 4/4 warrior creature tokens with flying. So this is going to be really good, and it gives all of our non-angel tokens non-angel creatures indestructible the turn we play it. So all of our creatures are going to be able to attack and benefit from that value. And then in the mana base, we're just playing a mix of basics: a copy of Castle Embereth to pump the team, 4 copies of the Pathway, 3 copies of the Rawring Triumph. I want to play this over Temples just because I'd rather have a land that I can cycle and draw than just something to scry with. If it's going to come into play tapped, at least have that versatility. And then we have a copy of Crawling Barrens as a creature land, 2 copies of Fabled Passage because we are a dual color deck, and it's going to help fix our mana a little bit. And that is the deck. The sideboard I will leave in the Ether Hub link, so you can check that out down below in the description, and you can export it, try out the deck, and let me know how you like it down below in the comments. And if you do like today's video, please consider hitting the like, the subscribe button, and the bell, and let's take this into standard and see if we can crush it with Boros Warrior Equipment. Alright, up against Free Kill 555. And this hand's not terrible. I mean, we have 3 lands. We're not doing anything for a very long time, so I think I should mulligan. And this is better. I think I'm gonna bottom the Embercleave. And if we draw an untapped source, I'll play the Shadow Spear first, but if not, then I'm gonna lead off on the Rawring Triumph. Just to have the Shadow Spear, but... Alright, up against Dimir, Rogues, Control. One of them. Well, I guess we'll play out the Castle Embereth and run out one of the core Blade Masters. We have 2. So if our opponent's going to counter one thing, I'd rather be that. Or Heartless Act, whatever. Or nothing, okay. So our opponent's just holding up priority for some situation. Oh, no. Okay. You know, it's funny. In the last video, I literally just talked about how Mill wasn't super, like, popular in the format outside of, like, Rogues. And now you see Teferi's tutelage the next day. Well, I'm just gonna equip and just start getting aggressive then. Oh, there goes an Embercleave. Okay, so Teferi, I'm pretty sure when if he phases out the creature, is it everything that's attached to it too? Yeah, it is. Okay, so Shadow Spear is going to go with it. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to play a Kiri, see if it forces our opponent to phase out our creature. If they don't phase out our creature, then we get a draw out of it. Yep. I imagine our opponent's probably playing board wipes. Like, they probably have an Extinction Event. Maybe even like Pestilent Haze or something. I'm gonna Bloom the Black Lotus. Sacrifice it for 3 mana. Cast Winota. I'm just kidding, I wish. Yep, our opponent Heartless Axe the Akiri. It's probably a good thing for them. It's probably smart. Ooh, Cargo War Leader. Chances of our opponent having counter a spell now. They might have a Drown in the Lock. They might have Anti-Cognition. I would imagine they're playing it. They're playing Mill, and they're in the colors, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be playing it. Alright, so let's attack the Teferi. Force them to activate it or deal with our core Blade Master. Okay, so they opt. We mill 2 cards. There goes a Legion. That's kind of a bummer. And a Nahiri. Yep. Draw your card. Yeah, we definitely want to keep this off the board as long as possible. And thankfully our opponent didn't have something to deal with our core Blade Master, so. And I wonder if they were holding up a counter spell, and if I just drew out the opt for them to try to deal with this. Either way. So that ended up working out for us. The chances of our opponent having a War Wipe are high, but I feel like I have to play it out. So I'll just play Kargan War Leader. Yep. And we'll pass the turn. We're at 31 cards in the library. There's the Extinction event. So what does our opponent choose? Even, okay. It's probably for the best. But it's my turn again, and now that our opponent's virtually tapped out, I'll play the Core Blade Master, re-equipped to the Kargan War Leader, and get it in for 8. And then we'll just, since we're not playing against any creatures, I'll play the Spikefield Hazard as a land. Now we're in pretty good shape. We have 28 cards left in our library. Underworld Dreams. Wishclaw Talisman. Good game, opponent. So it's an Underworld Dreams, Peer into the Abyss, Teferi's Tutelage, Mill combo. That's cool. I like this. This is pretty sweet. Oh, I'm so jealous I have the Phyrexian in the swamp. Oh, man. You know, when Jumpstart came out, I probably put about $200 into the game specifically for that land, and I never got it. I got like almost everything else from the set you can think of for the most part. I just don't have the swamp. That was like the chase rare. That was the true trace. The true chase rare. I can't even say it. Whatever. We won. Whatever. Alright, so our opponent's on the play. Up against KG. I mean, this hand's not super bad. We have no early game, but Heliod Sleeves. What are the chances they're actually playing life gain, right? I'm gonna mulligan just in case. Gotta keep it. Bottom the Embercleave. And I guess we bottom the Nahiri. Otherwise, this is kind of a cool start for us. We'll fetch the plains. Okay, we're up against another Boros deck. Ooh, Season Hellblade was a good draw. So we have something to protect itself against targeted removal or damage. Alright, double Triumph for our opponent is pretty cool too. That's going to help us. They had a slow start like we did. And this might be a shock. Okay. It lives. Alright, opponent keeps looking. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so we're playing against a Vigilance deck. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get super aggressive then. Get in for 6. Pass it up. So our opponent gains 1 life back. And they have 4 mana. What could they possibly have? I mean, there's a lot that they could have, but I mean, what would they be actually playing in this Vigilance build? I would assume they're playing a Vigilance build. I wish the Ragam Triome came in untapped, because then I can hold up a Kiri to give this indestructible if I needed to. But for now, I'm just going to play out the Seasoned Hollowblade, set up for the Embercleave next turn. Assuming our opponent doesn't deal with the Core Blade Master. Yep, Fire Prophecy. I was trying to think of it. I couldn't remember the name of the card. But I didn't... Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what we're up against, to be honest. Still, Seasoned Hollowblade's good. And we can just take 2 from this attacking. The Alert Heed Binder. That's not good. So that means we need to close out this game, like, within the next, like, 2 or 3 turns. Or else we're probably just going to lose, because Fellow to Retreat is insane. I mean, Maul the Skyclaves will help, but still. Opponent didn't even attack. Spikefield Hazard's cool. Well, I'll play it out as a land. Equipped to the Seasoned Hollowblade and start attacking. And now, next turn, if our opponent doesn't deal with the Seasoned Hollowblade, we win with Embercleave. Or gain life. No, they're going to gain life from the Heat Binder, so they'll be up 1 life. Damn. Damn. So that Spikefield Cave actually could have been what I needed. Heliod's good too, so now that all of his creatures... He's going to give all his creatures vigilance. They're going to attack. I know they're just going to put the counters. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. I would have equipped it to the Heliod, but... Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. Okay. It's my turn. Core Blade Master's cool. It's a cheaper Embercleave. Though honestly, it doesn't really matter. Embercleave is going to give the Seasoned Hollowblade indestructible anyway. I can't play Akiri because then I won't be able to play Embercleave, so I won't get the draw from this. So we're down to 10. If we attack, our opponent's probably going to think we're just putting them to 9. They're probably expecting Embercleave, so they might block anyway. And then, but if they don't block, then we're just dead on the backswing. And like holding this up as a blocker is not going to really matter because they're wide enough that they're just probably if they're smart anyway, they're just going to attack with all their creatures regardless, and just start chipping away at my life while making more 2/2s. So yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I can do is Embercleave, hope they block, and they don't. Good game, opponent. We were going to hit them with the... We'll show them the Embercleave. They know we had it. But, unfortunately, is not enough to kill them. Yeah, I was hoping that their Alert Heatbinder would block, and if I could have killed it, then I would have turned off the Heliod at least. That would have bought us another turn. We could have gave our Seasoned Hollowblade indestructible, and we would have brought their life total down quite a bit. So, yeah, it was a good game. So it was exactly what I expected with the sleeves, so, I mean, if I didn't mulligan... Maybe this could have been different. Heliod's pretty much impossible for us to deal with. Not sure what the Heatbinder was for. This was interesting. But, yeah, good game. I like our opponent's acronym. Do I look like I give a... So we got a couple lands that we can play. A little bit of early... interaction. Well, not really early interaction at all. This is a very slow hand, but we're up against the Urian deck, so unless it's like the green-white version, like the 60 card, okay, yeah, so it's just a traditional Urian, so this is going to be a little bit slower for them. So that'll give us some time to find some resources. We found a 4th land. It's colorless, but that's okay. I think play this tapped, pass it up. Alright, Maze Mind Tome for our opponent. Their pet, like, shakes off my mouse clicks and cleans itself. Like, how dare you, peasant? How dare you pet me? Oh, man. It's a savage. Alright, so our Castle Emberth is going to come in tapped. So we have to play out one of these. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter, right? So, yeah, we might as well play that out first. Next turn, we could play the Kargan War Leader and then start getting in with the Maul of the Skycleaves. Yeah, I wasn't really like thinking about early interaction when building this deck. Like I said, I kind of just brewed it and started recording, so I didn't really get in to test it or anything. But I think that I should have tried to maybe squeeze in some shocks, fire prophecies, or the thundering rebukes or something, just in the mix. So just keep that in mind as a consideration, that maybe pack some removal. It might help you, or might be necessary. So we need double red for Embercleave, but we also need double white for the Maul of the Skyclaves, just in case. We'll play that first, and we have the Shatter Skull Smashing for the double red. Alright. Yeah, alright, that works. Opponent didn't put a stop on their upkeep. I like to put a stop on my upkeep so I can filter my draw on the beginning of my turn. A lot of players I play against don't do that with this. In fact, most people I play against use this just to draw. And, like, I get it. That's a good function. But I think just, like, playing with the... I'd rather go for the consistency, or at least try to find steady resources versus, like, taking the risk with drawing. I know drawing cards in Magic is, like, the strongest thing you can do. So at least, you know, that's what a lot of people say. But, what is our opponent holding up? I'm afraid to play anything, but I'm going to try to maul the Skyclaves of this. See if it works. Okay, cool. We drew into the one of Resolute Strike, which is cool. I forgot to mention that in the deck tech. We're playing just a one of, because I mean this is a cute card. It's not really. It's more win more. It's. I mean, if you want to go for a super aggressive version of the deck, you could probably get away with it, like more copies. But I would play like lower on the curve, probably cut out the Winotas, and play like more one drops and stuff like that. Glass Casket kind of sucks, but we'll get over it. Resolute Strike will help. It's nice to be able to like reattach it to something, especially in the middle of combat. Alright, so play our Winota, and then we can actually use our Crawling Barrens to activate it next turn on the combat. Yep, main phase Winota. Nothing else in board. Don't need nothing else. This is going to draw out something. Opponent has to deal with it. Ooh. I wish I drew into a Mirror Shield. That would help. Skyclave Apparition is a card. Alright, then it leads off of the land to finish out the turn. Seasoned Hollowblade's not bad. Though it's not good against their setup. They have Exile, so its effect is virtually useless. Could try to set up for the Winota again. See if our opponent can deal with it a second time. Or I can play out the Seasoned Hollowblade and equip it with the Maul of the Skyclaves the same turn and have a 5/3. That would use all of our mana, which would be probably more mana efficient, right? So I guess we'll do that. Small, this guy cleaves. Hope our opponent doesn't have like a Heartless Act or something. I don't know why it even gives you the option to go to attackers when you can't the turn it came in. Like, it's the only creature I have. It's just like unnecessary phase clicks, I guess. No activation on our end step from the Maze Mind Tome either. So opponent's just going to try to reset it with the Urian, which probably makes more sense anyway, all things considered. Come on, opponent, what you got? Alright, they got their Urian. So we can say bye to the Seasoned Hollowblade. I feel like this deck is like virtually impossible to win against. I never beat it. They always end up getting some janky, like ridiculous setup. Well, that's just rude. That's just rude, man. I feel like you were gonna get something back. Stupid. Well, Core Blade Master is not terrible. Still gonna play Winota. Hold up the Resolute Strike. Hopefully we can try to get our opponent in combat. Extinction Event? And of course, both of his creatures are odd. Alright. I mean, if I play this Core Blade Master and then deal with that too, I'm just scooping, because this is like honestly the most irritating matchup I think I've ever played against. Alright, we got another Seasoned Hollowblade too, that's cool. If I play the Core Blade Master, I can't hold up the Resolute Strike, so I'm just gonna pass. Opponent's just not gonna activate the Maze Mind Tome. I mean, I don't care, man. You do you. There you go. Figured it out a few turns later. Oh man, I'm so triggered. I'm so sorry, everybody. This is just like every day I play against this deck, and it's just the same thing. Like I played Demirian, like a Demiriorian deck like a few weeks ago or whatever, and I hated every minute of it. I hated operating that deck. It's like all the unnecessary amount of clicks and time that you have to sit through all this nonsense. And it's like you cling to the idea that you can beat them, but I mean, like, look at their setup. What am I honestly supposed to do against this, right? Like, Embercleave doesn't save me, really. Best thing about this is that I get to pump this and at least trade with the Urian. Wait, so Embercleave could actually almost win? How can I go about this? So they're about to get another Legion Angel into play. So I can attack now. If our opponent doesn't block, I can Embercleave. If they do block, that's good for us. We don't care. And then we can follow up with... Well, wait, actually... No, alright. Forget the Embercleave, because we're not going to be able to kill them regardless this turn. So we'll attack. Now our creature has double strike, so he pretty much has to block. Also very interesting that our opponent is playing Legion Angel, and so are we. It's a little coincidental. You never see this in a Urian deck, so like, what are the odds of them actually playing this the same day that we decide to play it? I don't know. I feel like Arena's a little bit sketchy. We're not going to play out the Akiri because that's kind of like our last ditch effort. If our opponent wipes the board, we're screwed. So. Oh, there's the Embercleave. Yeah, I guess I should have thought about that too. It's fine. Alright, that hits the Maul of the Skyclaves. Buys back their Urian in 2 turns. There's the Legion Angel. Did they have another target? I wonder how they do their split. What? What? They play all of them. I mean, you pretty much have to play all of them, right? I still think Legion Hawk is a better card. Just saying. Or Squadron Hawk, whatever one it is. I think it's Legion Hawk, I don't know. Come on, opponent, you're at 5. Let me kill you, please. Please, just let it happen. Embercleave off the top would be sick. Alright, let's get it. That ain't no Embercleave. So, our opponent's just going to keep jamming out these Legion Angels, so they're going to have creatures. I'm going to equip Tier to the Blade Master and attack with both, and then I can just pitch something to the Seasoned Hollowblade if I have to. I want to try to get rid of these Angels, because these are both threatening to our life total and are the only thing stopping us from winning the game. Which I really kind of want to now to set a point to this archetype. I really dislike this archetype. Alright. Opponent has to block there. Cool, we get rid of both of them. Sweet, 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 sweet. We'll get rid of the other core Blade Master. I hope that doesn't bite us, but definitely want to pitch something. Okay. Opponent gets one more blocker. Our non-creature spells are going to cost more, and they're going to exile our graveyard. So the graveyard part's kind of irrelevant. We're not too worried about that. Next turn, though, they get back Urian, and that's like, that's going to be annoying. We need to like deal with that for sure. We need to try to win the game this turn. Yikes. Okay. So we still get a 2/2 back. And then we win the game from there, unless they deal with the 2/2. So they have to get rid of the Maul of the Skyclaves in order to not lose. Oh, actually, no. ECD gets rid of Kargan War Leader. Glass Casket gets rid of the 2/2. Ugh. Okay. This is like the 4th time I've started this game over. Ooh. That's pretty good. Let's play it. Opponent's like Battle Driver? Damn right, Battle Driver. Damn right. Alright, so I feel like our opponent played like, how do they, I don't know. Whatever. Legion Angel. Damn it. Where are my Legion Angels? That's not bad. So this actually gets haste too, which is nice. So that has double strike naturally. Gets +2/+0. Here comes Akiri. Feel like now's the time. So opponent can kill all of our creatures. No matter what, we can put them down to 2 because they're going to block the 5/3. So banking on them not having a board wipe in their hand, I'm only going to attack with these 2 so I can keep up the Ogre Battle Driver. Because these are both going to... Well, this one will live unless they double block it, but they can't. This one's going to die. And I want this to be able to live so we can play another creature and give it haste if we need to. Or is that wrong? Is that wrong? Is that wrong to think like that? Because if I attack with everything, so that's 6, 11, and then they can block this. This kills something. This trades with something. They take 3. So Ogre Battle Driver will still live unless they kill the Battle Driver. No, they would have to let... Okay, yeah, so let's just attack with everything. Put them down to 2. That makes more sense, actually. Because they can't kill the Battle Driver. If they do, they lose to the Blade Master and the Akiri. Took me a second to actually realize that. Math. Quick math. Okay, put our opponent down to 2. And we have 2 creatures, so now they need... It's all up to their draw. They have some Maze Mine activations. If they were using it sooner, they could have gained some life. They were too focused on resetting it instead. There's Skyclave. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep. I was really hoping the opponent would have taken the core Blade Master. Battle Driver's so good. Oh my god. Make it stop. Make it stop. This one game is probably longer than both of the other 2 games I've played in this recording as well, which is another reason why I don't like this, because then I have to sit here and edit through all of this boring nonsense. I'd rather get beat by like turn 4 by Mono Red than lose to this. Yep, there goes the Skyclave. We get creatures. We lose our creatures no matter what. Of course you don't look like you give a fuck. Why would you give a fuck? You're playing this deck. Asshole. Welcome back to the wrap-up, everybody. Unfortunately, went 1 and 2. I'm sorry, Babis. I could not put up good results for you with today's deck, but I plan on taking it back into the lab for future testing and tweaking. Obviously, this deck needs some removal. It can't just rely on the creatures. I realize that now, but I was kind of in a rush, and I kind of rushed it. I'm sorry. But I will revisit the deck. I hope everyone enjoyed the gameplay regardless, and I hope everyone enjoyed at least game 1. We had a pretty cool victory there, but either way, the deck is fun. It definitely needs removal. Like Thundering Rebuke is probably good for the deck. It probably needs some Fire Prophecy so you can shuffle away some cards, because it is a little clunky. Winota didn't do a single thing, so I probably am just going to go right ahead and cut that out of the deck automatically. I might even cut down the Shadow Skull Smashing because we never used it, and we can just keep the Spikefield Hazards, go up a few removal with those. Might even just cut out the Kargan Intimidator altogether. We can even go down 1 copy of Seasoned Hollowblade maybe, and maybe go down a Makiri, and that opens up 6 slots for us. So actually, you know what? I'll just do this on camera. Why not? I'll just go ahead and do that, right? So get some Thundering Rebuke in this. Probably like 1 or 2 copies. Fire Prophecy. We'll go ahead and play all 4 so we can shuffle away the cards. And that already seems a little bit better. This probably fares a little bit better in the format too. I'll take it into 1 game too and see how it plays this way. As a bonus feature. Alright, up against Dirk Seth. which is cool. This hand seems pretty nice. So we don't have an early game creature, but we have some removal, which we can hopefully rely on. We'll keep it and try it out. Well, we drew the 4th land anyway, but I'm still just going to lead off with a Fable Passage. Thin out the deck a little bit. We would have had a Nahiri on top, but we have one in our hand, so that's fine. Ooh. Up against the kicker deck. You don't see this very often. And instead of letting our opponent just like go crazy balls to the wall with this card, we can kill it. I'll go ahead and... I'm actually going to submit 0 because pretty much everything in our hand is good. We don't need to bottom any of them. Alright, Thornwood falls for our opponent. Cool. Pass it up. They're probably very light on interaction, I would imagine, based off of the deck. I mean, they might have Into the Royal, which they can kick, which is nice. They have Blood Chief's Thirst, but I don't see any black sources yet, so I don't know if they're playing that in the package. Verazal is pretty cool. Again, same deal. Fire Prophecy, putting in the work, being able to kill this is very relevant, especially given that that's like their whole strategy. Shuffle away a land for a land. I'll take that all day, all day. Play this out as a mountain, get in for 3, and this already feels way better. We're keeping everything off our opponent's side of the field while we have a nice beater to get in for 3 damage. We can Embercleave next turn if we wanted to. Alright, there's the Rebel Snare. That's another thing that they can kick. I was trying to think of what the removal options were. Akiri's good. I didn't mean to actually play that. Oh no. Oh, that's fine. We'll still play it. It's not like we can do much about it. I didn't mean to like drag it up that far. I was probably gonna play Nahiri. But that's okay. We have the Cargo War Leader we can follow up with next turn. Or the Embercleave. And just get in for 10. That seems really good. Alright, nothing from our opponent. They're probably holding up a bounce spell. Like Into the Royal is certainly a possibility. Well, I mean, let's force our opponent to have it, right? Something. Alright, so our opponent did that before attacks, where they could have got some value out of it, I suppose. But play Nahiri, that leaves us up 1 mana. So I'd rather just play it out where I get the most mana efficiency. Oh, I didn't leave out the white source. Oh, I didn't have 2 white sources. Dang. Okay. Screwed myself a little bit on the mana, but Roost of that hip-hop artist. What's his name? Well, this is fine. We're still going to Embercleave. And just go ahead and push it down to 10. Or push it down to 8, I mean. Okay. This has already performed way better, and I made a misplay by not playing out one of our Needle Verges as a white source. So that's on me. The deck would have functioned a little bit better that way. But still performed pretty good for what it's worth. I could play out the Nahiri and deal with the creature, but that doesn't really matter. So we'll just go to combat, force them to have to bounce it. Okay. So I'll play Nahiri first. Can't play anything else, unfortunately. But I could kill one of their drakes as well. Doesn't really matter. They'll just kill Nahiri in response. But I will attach Embercleave to this. We'll pass it up. Our Nahiri will live to see one more turn unless they deal with it some other way. This deck is good. I mean, I've tried building around with it, especially around Verazal. Like, this seems like it's really good, but At max, you get 2 copies by removing, I think it's what, 2 counters at a time? Yeah, you remove 2 counters from it at a time, so I don't know. Another bubble snare. It's frustrating. Found a second white source though, that's cool. We'll make a dude. Yeah, we're gonna attach Embercleave. Play out our Akiri, which this costs a white mana. We need to be mindful of that, so we can't play these. We can hold up the interaction and give this indestructible. And here he's going to the bin regardless. Okay. Well, dang. I wish I drew into an Ogre Battle Driver this game. I just want to keep playing that card now. That's real magic. Alright, getting planes. Okay, we can play out the whole squad, but what are the chances that they just have something to do about it? Let's play Akiri, Babiri, Kargan, and Core Blade Boy. Pass it up. Opponent goes Bubble Snare, Inscription, bounce all your dudes again. Alright, opponent's thinking. This has been kind of a frustrating game. It's cool to know that the kicker deck is actually like functional though. I think I just didn't have Inscription of Insight. I don't think I have all 4 copies of this card. But I have the Verazals, the End of the Royals, the Vine Gecko, obviously the Rooster Drakes. I could probably build this deck. Try it out. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see me build this deck and brew with it. Alright, so opponent puts the counters. It makes them fight our Kargan War Leader, which is pretty relevant. Legion Angel's cool. But if I just equipped Embercleave, I'm swinging for 10. Which puts our opponent down to 2. Yeah, I'm just doing that. Forget this. I could still play the angel afterwards. Well, the opponent's going to be taking a beating. Yep. Opponent goes down to 2. We'll play our Legion Angel and fetch out another one. Pass it up. So they can still Inscription. Oh, Rooster Drakes is really good. Gives them blockers. They have to bounce one of our creatures during combat to avoid dying to the Embercleave, though. Ooh, this has been a really good game. See, like, I like these kind of games. Even if I lost, I wouldn't have felt as bad about it. We both were just going back and forth with each other. But regardless, the deck seems like it puts up better results, obviously, having some access to removal and interaction. So I guess welcome back to the wrap-up. We went 2-2 instead by making some adjustments. So I feel like we have a much better chance in the meta, having access to removal. So to the people who watch the video just for the deck list, they're not going to get... I'm just going to give them the original deck list. You know, without the removal, people are going to copy paste it, click out of the video, and then, you know, take it in and realize how bad it is not having interaction. And then the real MVPs like you that still watch this video are going to be able to see that I made adjustments. And I'm sure you probably already assumed to make the adjustments anyway, but still, it's just nice to see that people are actually watching my videos and enjoying the content. So for what it's worth, I appreciate everybody who still watches all the way up to this point in the video. It means a lot to me. And to the people who are viewers and still watch this far and aren't subscribers, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We are at 97 subs. We're 3 subscribers away. And I don't even know what I'm going to do for the special, but if I'm lucky, it'll happen sometime tomorrow. Like I might hit 100 tomorrow, and then if that's the case, I'll come straight home and record some goofy special, and we'll go from there. But either way, I'm also going to leave a link down to the Discord. Hop in there and say hello if you would like to. Bring some suggestions and bring some deck ideas, and let's just, let's meet up and say hello to each other, And that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.